Hey guys, welcome to the video. These are my one-on-one sessions. I thought I record them anyway and send them to the client, so I thought it'd be really interested for you guys to come along and see what the sessions are like. They're all really different and it's hard to explain to people what you get out of the session when they're all so different. So yeah, these are the one-on-one sessions. Thanks, Isabella. For this one, I realised about 10 minutes in that the background music was quite loud. So it's like rain music to try and help me concentrate when I'm channeling. That is on in the background and it's quite loud at first, but then about 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, I don't know the time, but I do realise and fix it. Sorry, Isabella's singing happy birthday. But yeah, so that does, it's really like loud in the background for the first about 10-15 minutes, but then I fix it and it's really good session. It's really interesting, and yeah, stick around till the very end to hear what happened after her session and how she came full loop. So I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe for more, and I will see you after to me with your energy all day, because I've felt almost like it's like, whose energy is this? And then I felt I was with my friend, and then I was like, oh, it must be her energy, but then I was away and I'm like, right, okay, it's not, like, and I'm trying to gauge the energy, but I think it's yours. So when you were saying like you feel like it's everyone else has their own thing and you're not quite there and you don't understand what you're meant to be doing, you don't know where you fit in, it almost is like they're already here and that this is why you're here today. Like, obviously you've booked the call because you needed it, but it feels like they're ready to let you know more information. It feels like it almost feels like we've been doing so many healings for so long. It feels like it's almost like enough of the healing. Obviously I've been doing healing myself for years, but I still get healing. But like sometimes we focus too much on the healing, and it's almost like they're stepping forward today and being like, yes, healing is amazing, but like it's time for you to stand in your I'm good enough how I am. We don't need to always focus so much on healing. You've already come so far, and you're almost like, it's almost like they just want to give you like gifts today. It's like, okay, let's give her some more knowledge that she's going to be able to use, rather than, oh, let's just heal this from the past. Like, you know, it feels like it feels new energy. I feel like you've definitely had a very big shift in your life. I think as well. Yeah, okay. Well, you can say whatever you want. You can say, and like, you don't ever have to feel like uncomfortable around me. I literally, you know how crazy I am. I don't care. Like, so you can feel as comfortable and, you know, yourself around me. And sometimes when we feel like, oh, I don't want to ask that question because it seems really like egotistic, or it seems really silly to want to know, or it feels like I'm meant to already know that, so I shouldn't ask that. I can figure that one out myself. And then, because I have the same thing sometimes where I'm like, well, I should already know that. I should be able to figure that one out. So if I say it, it's almost like, if I ask someone else, it's almost like taking my power away. But then sometimes they're like, well, actually, you've been asking for the answers, but then when you get onto calls like this, you don't ask that question because you feel like that's the one you're waiting for the answers for, and you're not meant to keep asking, otherwise you're not meant to get the answers. Like, in the law of attraction way, if you keep asking, it means you can't, like, it means you haven't got it. So you're trying to, like, you know, be like, law of attraction, I have got it, but then they're like, this is the thing we're trying to give you to help you get the answers, but you're not using it. So yeah, just you know, you can feel as comfortable to ask whatever question, it doesn't matter here. But I feel like the energy, obviously I haven't even tapped in properly yet. Normally we like meditate and do all that, but yeah, the energy feels really like because of all the shifts that has been happening in the world, this is why it took so long for you to be able to be like, oh, where is my place? What are my gifts? How am I meant to be serving like humanity or myself, or whatever you feel drawn to? But it feels like it's because the frequency of the world wasn't where it was for you to do that. It's like almost like people are talking about, oh, new earth, new earth, new earth, and you're meant to be serving in the new earth rather than making people get to the new earth, if that makes sense. So it almost feels like this is like your time to shine, and it's not like we have to be all the way down there and the new earth is here and everyone is like this. It's like it's now, and it's a good vibration now to start getting the wheels in motion. That's what, sorry? Oh, a human designs. I thought you was on about who was stepping forward. Oh, that's my bad. Sorry. Oh no, it's okay, honestly. That's crazy. That makes I don't know a lot about human designs. I looked into it to try and understand my own, and it still baffles me because it feels like it's so different to what I normally like look into. But that makes so much sense from obviously a person that does not have a clue about them really. Like my logical brain thinks, well, if you have the same as the earth, then that makes sense because you're always so connected. And I remember about your chords on like, I think it's like a million calls ago, but it makes so much sense, doesn't it? Because you always feel like, why am I going through like all these emotions and shifts, and your with your energy like up and down and your emotions, it's been really hard for you to like kind of grasp it, and that makes so much sense. That's really cool. Has it helped you kind of understand more? Yeah, I did have a look a little bit into it. I got my chart and I was trying to understand it, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. I thought it might have been a bit easier because like astrology and things like that, I do love it. I just don't understand it. It's just something my brain just doesn't vibe with. I have to get my partner, I'm like, what does this mean? And he just explains it so easily. I'm like, how did you get that from that chart? Like, it just baffles my brain. So that's why I tried to look into it, because it seemed less complicated, and it was, but it's still confusing. I think, once you explain it to you, it makes sense. But just looking at your chart, like, what are these lines and numbers and all this stuff to do? Yeah, I think it's quite confusing, but it's fun when you get to understand it more, to then understand how you're working and why things are happening. Crazy. What else has been happening? Not really, just feeling stuck and feeling like I'm living the same day in the same week over and over again. Just, I feel like it's something I'm supposed to be doing, but it's just something that I don't. I'm trying to make these videos and just... Okay, so I want to tap into that. I want to tap into you feeling like you're living the same days and you're almost like stuck, because I think there's something there. I think they were trying to show me something when you were saying that. I don't know what it is. It feels like something from... It's weird. It feels like almost... This is so bizarre. Like, everything I say recently is just bizarre. but I feel like it's almost something from your like a parallel life. I have to tap into it properly to understand it and like concentrate more, but basically I had like a flash, and then I can, like when you said it, and I got like a little bit of information, and it feels almost like there's something wrong with it's like you know, we all have parallel lives, so it feels like there's something like a glitch in it, or there's something gone wrong, and something's happening with like the parallel life, and you're kind of like reliving, and you're trying to get out of the cycle, and it's like frustrating because you're almost like stuck on a loop. Yeah, and I'm gonna close my eyes and just concentrate and get into it, but that's what I keep, like, it's like a loop, but it feels like, and I know you've talked to me about that before, but I've not seen that before. So as soon as you said it, I just seen it writ so quickly, I was like, well, I don't know what that even was. But it feels like it's from like a parallel, yourself, a parallel version of you, and something's happened where it's kind of like, it's almost like this is meant to be the dominant you, but this is the dominant you, and this one's kind of stuck on like a cycle when this one's kind of controlling it, but it's like, so it's caused like a mess. It's so weird. Let me just tap in and try and like actually see what they're trying to tell me, because that's what I like saw in like the flash, but it's really hard. So sometimes when it happens like so quickly like that, it's like, what did I even see? Because that was so quick. Bobby trying to make himself known. You want to introduce yourself before you cause a havoc. He's a little starseed cat. He his eyes change all the time. It's really weird, and it looks like he's got blue on his back. And Freddie was like, oh, he's definitely an alien. I was laughing. I was like, yeah, but yeah, he just needs to make himself known a little bit. Right, I'm going to tap in properly, because I'm already getting so much information, but I feel like it's going to be so much more clear and stronger when I properly tap in and just calm my mind. Do you know, I prefer cats than dogs. I think cats are less, like, it's less commitment, but like they're more chilled and like chilled back. But he's like another child. It's like I own another child, because he's so mischievous. Okay, I'm just gonna calm my mind and tap it into your energy. So naughty. I can see straight away this, they're showing me like a little, so sometimes they show me like a script, like a rolled up scripture that's like, for me it just represents like your contract. So that's so like when they need to tell me, like talk to me about your contract, so then I ask about it and go through that, and it wasn't in your contract. So when it's something wasn't in our, it's like almost like a mistake. This wasn't meant to be happening. And yeah, so it feels like, what I'll tap more into, sometimes unless I say the information as I'm seeing it, they don't give me more. So Bobby, stop chasing your tail. So they basically was showing me the contract, so I was asking like, okay, so was this in a contract? And they would say no, it actually wasn't in her contract for this to happen. And then they were showing me almost like just this circle. I keep seeing this circle of like energy, and it's you going around in this circle, and then you like fell out of it and you was like in front of me, and like you were so like upset and crying and just like, oh my god, like you recognized me, like quickly, like get me out of this situation. It's almost like she was in a panic, and she was just so grateful. She's been trying to get like people's attention for this for so long, like, oh my god, like someone's noticed, someone's here. It feels like on the spiritual realm, like as I'm seeing images and things like that, like messages, like from that realm of the messages, like I want to say, I don't know that's the thing, but like it's almost like she's been trying to get people's like attention for a long time, but it's not been time to be able to understand and recognize it. So she was not able to get her point across, and then it was almost like she's like, oh my god, like finally, like you can see me. So she just kind of breaks down and she's really upset, and not in a negative way. She's just upset because she's finally being seen and like, oh my god, you've saved me, like get me off. So yeah, she's just upset, like this version of it, she's just upset. She feels like she's unheard and unseen, and she just feels like she was losing hope and she really needed today. So I'm gonna tap in, like just see what else she has to say and what is actually happening, why did this happen. But it feels like this has been for a long time now, this has been happening, and it feels like almost like Bobby, just honestly. Okay, let me just ask her some more questions, see why this happened and how it happened. Bobby. It's because he's in a mood because I won't let him go upstairs because he plays with Isabella's hair while she's asleep. Okay, so I'm seeing the other timeline. So basically I can see the other, I'm assuming this, you've not been in a crash. No, like years ago. No, I don't think it's, I didn't think it was, I just wanted to clarify just rather than assume. But it's, I can see it almost, it's like you right now, but it's like a different you, like you that's like living this, it's almost like a different timeline of you. And I guess it's a parallel life where you was in a crash, and again, that wasn't meant to happen in your contract. So you got assistance from the angelics, and sometimes they can come down into physical and stop something from, like a tragedy from happening if it wasn't meant to happen. If you wasn't meant to go there, they'll come and assist. But just something got so mixed up in that moment when they was trying to stop this from happening. It's almost like your timelines and things, scared of a shadow, your timelines got like messed up, and it caused this reality to almost like break. It seems really bizarre. So like I can see like the crash, I can see like almost like reversing, and then them trying to like fix it and like manipulate the time to almost, because it was like they was trying to stop it from happening but they couldn't quite get there, so then they had kind of like reversed it and was trying to fix it so it didn't happen, because it would have messed up a lot, and it was really important that that didn't happen. But then it almost like messed up this timeline that you're on now, because either they didn't do it in the right way, or you know, it was a mistake. So I'm actually gonna call in maybe your higher self, because I get your higher self will like be over all of it, because I guess like your spirit guide, I'm not sure if your spirit guide from that life would be the same as this, but I think higher self would be a better way to go, to see if because I know that it'll be able to be fixed today, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to see it, and I've not been able to see it before, so I know that the way she was crying and she's like finally being seen, I know that it's ready to be fixed today, or it might have even just been fixed just by recognising it. But I just want to just double check rather than just seeing it and then moving on. I just want to just see what, if we need to do anything, if you need to give like consent or, you know, acknowledgement or just whatever it is. I just want to check. So I'm going to check with your higher self, because I think she'll be the one looking over all, it's like all versions of yourself, so that'd be the best one to go to. Bobby, right, look, come here, come and give me a snuggle. Bobby, you're so cheeky. Look, there you go. Oh. Good. There you go. That's better. He's like chasing his shadow on the wall. So we don't really have any furniture right now because I'm trying to sell everything to move. And he's jumping on the chair, falling off the chair, and then trying to get back up to get his shadow on the wall. And I'm like, he's like a child, literally. But I put him in the kitchen with his food, so he's hilarious. He helps me be more playful, but it's just like, sometimes he actually sits on the sofa. I'm not an animal person either, but he just makes, you can't not be with him. Like, he sits on the sofa like on his bum with his legs and arms out. So he sits like a human. And I'm like, I didn't even know cats could do that. And like, he's so crazy, honestly. I'm like, what on earth? I didn't know. Oh, he'll stand up when it's just 2 feet, and it's like, I didn't think cats could do that. What are you doing? But yeah, he's crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna call in your high self, and just see if we can kind of just make sure all of this is going to be settled, and see kind of, also I might look into some future timelines then to see how it's going to affect you, see what they're allowing us to see. Oh, it feels like years and years. Like, it feels, I couldn't say a number. They're not giving me an exact number, but it feels like years when this has happened. Like, almost like doomsday. Like, why am I? And I know it sounds like a lot of us, I felt like that during like the time where everyone was like indoors and stuff like that. But like, this just feels like dragging on. Like, why is this still happening to me? Like, and I understand why. Every one of your calls that you've had with me, you always say, I feel stuck, I feel stuck, I feel stuck, and no wonder you feel stuck. I'm so glad we was able to just lift so much off you so you can deal with this now and just breathe a little bit and have a fresh start and not feel like every time I try something it goes backwards or it doesn't happen. And it's not that you did anything wrong, it's not that it was just that I wasn't able to move forward because of this cycle, and you've done so much healing, and it feels like it's giving you so much, a strong foundation to be able to deal with all of this, and you need a strong foundation to move forward. Like, this, it all just happens in so many different ways. But I would literally, I keep thinking 8, I would even say 8 years, and that is, oh no, but it just says it's running out because I didn't, this is a different call, isn't it? Anyways, I literally would say like at least like 8 years. And like, I know that sounds crazy long, but it feels so long. Yeah. It feels like it's good that we're able to like see this now, because we're going to be able to you know, move past it, and just it feels like our weight will be lifted, like, oh, fresh, new, like, yay, like a new energy, like no more stagnant and living. Honestly, Bobby, he's got back in. Okay, let me just double check that this is not going to turn off. Oh, I need to just really learn technology, man. I got, oh, I turned myself, I don't know how I did that. I got, oh, what was it? Skype that we did this time. So I've been trying to use that, but then on my last call, it was meant to be recording, and it didn't. So I was so confused. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go back to Zoom, it's so much easier. And now it's like, your Zoom is gonna turn on. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I set it up properly. But okay, I'm just gonna go. If it turns off, I'll just do it again. But I'm pretty sure I've done it properly this time. It took me so long to set it up to make sure I did. But anyways, so your higher self is here. She's surrounded by angels. I'm just gonna ask her some questions just to make sure. Okay, so it's super simple. It is ready. It's ready to, like, it's not just completely gone just because we're aware of it. And it's not like you have to do loads of work and healing to get rid of it. It's nothing like that. They just want you to just declare and be like firm. So I could even just take you through it now while we're just together. But they were showing me when I was in my last healing session, when I even made the video about it, what I did about the energy dome and things like that. It's similar to that, but it's the fact that you're declaring that I am in charge of my power, and I am declaring like that I'm changing this. Like, I'm going to be the one that changes and chooses to change this right now, because I have the power over my own life. And yeah, that's going to really help you. But we can I can take you for like maybe a little guided meditation, but I can say the things, but you need to say them, like, you can say it in your head, but you need to say them as you. So because it needs to be you are the one that's taking your power back. You're the only one that can decide whether this continues or stops. And they just want you to just basically declare from you. And it sounds really weird, like, of course if you just say, well, I declare, then you declare, but that's like almost like surface level, like, well, I just declare. It feels like it's like it needs to come from like your center, and like, no, I know that I am the maker of my reality, and I understand that this has happened, but I'm choosing different. I'm choosing to move forward. And what else is she saying? So she's saying that she's like, we don't need to be worrying about like not being able to do it. Like, we don't need to be worrying about that. If we're doing it ourselves rather than someone else like doing it, it's not going to work, or second guessing. She was like saying that, like, you're the one with all the power. You're the one that's like causing all of these things, like all these positive shifts. You're on the call, and you're always like hearing their guidance, and you're always moving forward, but sometimes you just don't see it. So she said, before you start to worry about that, or if I just do it, what if it doesn't work, or how will I know it's gonna work? And it's like, she's like, already tell me before you start worrying, it's okay. Like, she knows what you're like, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna be powerful because you're aware of how it feels going through it. You're the one that's been experiencing it, and you're the one that can feel into that emotion and choose differently. Okay, I'm gonna just move this here so he doesn't knock it over. You did. You was in the crash. Yeah. It's like, so what I could see the crash happening. You wasn't in the crash, and it would have been fatal. So they couldn't have that. So they actually rewound. It's almost like they show me rewinding back time. The crash did happen, the impact happened, and they couldn't quite stop it. So they rewound back time, and because they manipulated, which is very rare, they really don't do things like that. That's like not like an everyday thing. Because they mess with like the timeline to try and stop that situation from happening, it's messed up your timeline now. Because it's like, even though it's not this reality that happened, it's like a parallel. So like how they explain it is like, we have like, in every second we have like it's like stems. They're showing me like stems, and we're like here now, but then every, like, there's a version of me right now on the call to you. There's a version of me upstairs that chose to stay with Freddie, and there's a version of me that doesn't even live in this country. Like, there's so many versions of us, but they all coexist at the exact same time. But if something happens in one, it's not going to affect the other. But because they physically like messed with the timeline, it affected all of them. So even though the crash didn't happen in your timeline right now, it still happened, and it still affected you because they manipulated that timeline, if that makes sense.
I managed to rewind it, and then because they changed the timeline, it reset every timeline.
Yeah, basically that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So I just want to basically say things that reaffirm that you're the one in control and you no longer want this to happen. Just trying to think of good keywords to make sure I get it, like, you know, like strong, what feels like really good. But basically I guess we'll just channel it. I'll just channel it, so there's no point in me trying to think of it. But yeah, it's just reaffirming that you're the one, that you're in control, you're the one that you're aware. So now you're changing it, and you're taking back control of this timeline. But yeah, so okay, I always try and then logically think of it, and I'm like, just stop, just channel it, just stop. Okay, so I just want you to take a deep breath in, and then slowly exhale, and take another deep breath in, and slowly exhale. So I want you to be working with your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is very beautiful, by the way, nice and clear. It feels really, really bright, really clear. It's almost like you're full of love, and you're in a really happy place right now. And also, just while I'm just saying that, I also want to, after we've done this, I want to go back and have a look at the connection with your boyfriend, because as soon as when I said I would tap in and see the other things, they showed me your boyfriend, but it wasn't related to this. So I was like, right, okay, let's just leave that for a minute. It doesn't feel anything bad. I don't know why it came up, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave that for a minute because I'm not gonna be able to remember this, so just hold there for a second. But yeah, okay, so I want to, yeah, just let you know about, we're going to look into that. But your heart chakra is beautiful, perfect, just glowing, like it's almost like a green diamond, like glistening, like it's really beautiful and really, really big, so really strong. So because our heart chakra is like a portal, it's really good to hold that frequency. So just imagine the green surrounding from your heart chakra, just going all over you as we go through it. So just sink it into your chair, deep breaths. I want you to feel your heart chakra expanding. I want you to feel yourself anchoring it in to the love frequency, unconditional love for yourself. I want you to imagine the green filling your aura, feeling absolutely blissful, happy, looking forward to enjoying the rest of your day, feeling happy with every moment is new and fresh, and every moment is something that is positive and what you've been wanting to happen. All of your energy is feeling like it's more clear and more new than usual. All of the old stagnant energy is drifting away. And now in this happy place, anchoring in that love, I want you to now declare to your higher self, to the pure source frequency of the universe, I am in charge of my own life.
I am in charge of my own life.
I am in charge of this timeline. I am taking back control.
I am in charge of this timeline. I am taking back control.
I feel confident in my decision.
I feel confident in my decision.
I now get to leave the past behind, this past cycle, and move forward fresh and new.
Now I get to leave this past behind, this past cycle, and I get to move forward fresh and new.
New things are allowed to come to me that align with my frequency and my vision.
New things are allowed to come to me that align with my new frequency and my vision.
New energies of love are allowed to come to me with my new frequency.
New energies of love are allowed to come to me with my new frequency.
New financial freedom is allowed to come to me with my new frequency.
New financial freedom is allowed to come to me with my new frequency.
New freeness is allowed to come to me, and more adventure is allowed to come to me with my new beginnings. And just it doesn't matter if it's not the exact same, it's just they're showing me so many things, so I'm trying to think of words that go with what they're showing me.
New freeness is allowed to come to me, and new adventures are allowed to come to me with my new frequency.
Okay, so everything, I feel like so smiley, I feel really happy, it feels really, really good. And now I just want you to just sit with the feeling for a minute. I just want you to just sit and visualize, what is your new life going to look like? What do you want it to look like? What do you want to bring in with the new energy, the new you that doesn't have to go through this same cycle anymore? Don't think about, oh, that would be nice, but I wasn't able to get that before. Like, just think like, what is your wildest desires? Like, anything. Like, just sit in the feeling for a minute and just close your eyes and sink into it. Try and visualize what you want your future to be, and what do you want to bring in. What in your current situation right now do you want to shift, like, quickly? what do you want to move out of and move forward into? So just sit and just visualize it for a minute, and as you do that, I just want to just check your energy as you're doing it to see if there's anything maybe stopping you, or if you start to feel any negative thoughts come out about it, just say it and then we'll go through it. But yeah, I just want to just make sure that we're shifting into this new beginning with a positive view on it. And if there's any resistance, like any negative, like old patterns, like old thoughts, I want to help you shift it now, rather than you messaging me in a week panicking in case, like, you know, like these, it's going to ruin it. Because I know it won't, but I just want to make sure you feel confident before we end the call to them, like, oh, not that we're ending it, but, you know, to like, you feel really good and confident it's going to happen, rather than, oh yeah, that was you get the high after a call and it was really good, but like, oh, now I feel cracked because I don't actually know if it's going to happen, do you know? Like, I want you to feel like, I know it's going to happen because this, I know it is. So visualize it, just feel into it for me, and just, I'm going to check your energy, and then if there's any of them hesitant thoughts, even if you're able to just move it, just tell me any of the hesitant thoughts that come up. Okay. Just breathe into it. What is your new beginnings going to look like? Okay, so I'm just bringing in she's like waiting on the sidelines. So I'm just bringing in that version of you that she was showing me in the loop, and I'm just bringing it back into you, because it was almost like she was like cut off from you, like detached. It happens all the time. Like we detach from ourselves. We need to bring all of ourselves back together. So I was just bringing her back in and welcoming her back, I can't speak, and just like telling her, like, I'm so proud of you, you did amazing, you really hanged in there, you know, you had so much strength and so much hope and so much love, and you did so amazing. And you know, she feels almost like we just need to just take care of her for a minute, and you just like appreciate her. She did so amazing, and we're bringing her back into you, and where she can be safe and she can feel like seen and supported, and that's essentially you, you know. I know I see it as a different you, but like, it's still you, you know. You've done so much, so it's like, today I kind of want you, obviously you'll have things planned, but or take out some time this week, I just want you to like celebrate yourself, like yourselves coming back together and like reuniting with you. And whether that just means, I don't know, going and buying like a new bouquet of flowers, or whether that means going on a walk or climbing a tree, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, whatever, or just sitting down with a book, whatever just feels good to you. I want you to do it for you, and I want you to do it on your own. Like, all the versions of you there, just sitting there and calling them all back in, like, I welcome you all back, and you know, I'm so grateful to have you here, we're going to move forward together, you know, and I'm proud of you all for doing your individual things, and it's time to kind of move forward together now. It almost feels like we go through these things in different parts of ourselves, stay in them situations, and we kind of don't see it as us anymore, because that was us a long time ago. But it's like, bring them with you. They want, like, we want all of us to be together. We don't want ourselves to be separate. So yeah, I was just bringing her back in, and I see it as like you're here, and there's so many different versions of you in this part where like you're here, and then there's like about 4 or 5 like different versions of you. Oh my days, Freddie, you scared the life out of me. You can just sit there, mate. You scared me. But then there's like basically the one that came in, all of the other versions of you were like hugging her, like welcome back, like let's give you a cuddle, let's give you all the attention you need. And it's really nice to just appreciate and just recognize that they're there. So yeah, it's really, I would definitely just sit, even if it's just 5 minutes of just recognizing yourself, and we did it. So yeah, anytime you're able to. Okay. Did any thoughts or anything come up, or?
I was trying to keep them away, but like just visions of like what else can happen, and again I'm still wondering like what I'm gonna be doing in terms of like career, like I couldn't really
Okay.
that part of it, but I feel myself living somewhere else and really happy. So
Okay. So do you want me to maybe ask if there's anything, if there's like any dominant timelines for your career? Yeah, I will ask if there's dominant timelines, and try and get a vague like idea of at least what it is. They don't always show me, but I can ask. There's no harm in asking and try and see what they say. Okay, so they're not giving me like a clear idea. It feels like there's a lot of like potential things. So they're almost like not, I can't like, so like how I do it, I can see like them like foggy and far away, and I almost like want to see into it, so I like zoom in, but they're not like, it's like all pixelated and I can't see it, and I'm like what, but it feels like it almost feels like there's only been one timeline for you right now in this loop, so there's just so many opening. So they're almost like, it feels like they don't want to almost just send you down like another one timeline. So there's just so many open for you. I did keep seeing you like working a little bit with children, though. That did keep popping up more than other things. And I could see like paint, and I could see like books, like reading like actual book, not like a teacher, like, but I could see like, I don't know, like books. So that was what I could keep seeing, but like it was all really foggy and it wasn't very clear. So whatever that could be for you, it might not be, who knows, but
which is really strange because I've never had to know without it.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? There's so many options. I can see like, so when they were showing it me, this is the only one they were showing me, but like it wasn't like, I wouldn't say it was really strong because I couldn't see it very clearly. I could see you like bending down and smiling and like talking to the children and like have like almost like finger paints, like you was like showing them finger paints. And then I could see you in like another clip like reading like a book to this child and stuff like that. It didn't feel like your child, it felt like you was working with children. Yeah, I even think that possibly, just because from talking about it, the thoughts that are coming in, I would even think about, could be in some sort of like foster situation, not you fostering them, but like helping in like maybe like a company that, like, I don't know how it all works, but do you know, like a company that like helps the children like that, or like a charity that would like help in that kind of way. But yeah, at first I was like, no it's not, like that's not her. And then like when they showed me again, I was like, well, I guess I have to recognize that they showed it me again, so it must mean something. But I don't know. I don't think there's any clear path for you right now that they're ready to tell you, because I think it would give too much influence to you in your decisions, and it's almost like they're giving you a bit of free range right now. They're like, oh my god, she's been stuck in the cycle for a long time, just let her run wild, like, you know, and let's just see what, without the limitations of that other thing, let her see where her mind goes. And you know, when they are ready, they'll influence you with like thoughts, or like, oh, this feels good, or this feels good. So it's good though. It's an exciting not knowing. It's not a, oh no, I don't know. It's a good not knowing. So do you want me to tap in and ask about your partner? Just because I was seeing that, it did feel really good energy, but I just didn't want to concentrate too much on that because I would have lost the other bit. I wouldn't have been able to remember. So I'll bring him back in. I could see that before, what I could see he like stepped in a little bit, and he stepped in as if he was like, as if like a guide does. So I'm assuming it's his higher self that stepped in, and yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of messages, so I just want to tap in properly and just get it properly. Okay, so so you said that you've both been a little bit poorly recently.
Yeah.
So did that cause a little bit of friction or bring you closer together?
I was in days when like I was a bit, I think afterwards I really got to us just being like so condemned, but yeah, I was really annoyed with him.
Okay, because he's like, it is his higher self. I think he's coming in like specifically, oh my god, I actually said that word right for the first time ever, to talk to you, because he just wants to like acknowledge, like, just to like let you know, like, by the way, like, all of these things are working, and like, you think that like he's not awakening and like this, and but like it's okay. And he was like giggling at like, almost like you was like nattering a little bit, like when you weren't very well, but he was saying there's so much love in that, and it's so nice. Like it's not like a, oh my god, go away, like there's just still so much love in it, and it's so beautiful. It's like almost like a beautiful argument, even though that, like, does that even exist? But do you know what I mean? So he just wants to come in and just recognize that, and yeah, let me just see what else. He was gonna say something else, but I just oh yeah, okay, so that's what he was saying. So when you were both poorly, it was for a reason. So this was like his energy shifting a lot, and your energy was shifting obviously almost as well, but like this was more for him. His energy has been shifting, and it's like it's almost like giving him a boost. It's like, come on, you need to almost like crash your physical body a little bit to then rest, so then we can do all of these little tweaks to then get you back like on board. But it's almost like you're not just like back on board and one step further, you're like 5 steps further. It's 5 steps further. So he just wants to let you know that he's working hard, you know, on his side to like try and awaken him, and you're doing really good. But yeah, it's like he's really nice. He just came in to just like acknowledge that how much you've done for him, and how much you have almost like opened up to him, because it feels like he's very appreciative of how much you allow him in like personally, and like you're allowing yourself to be more vulnerable with him, and he just appreciates it. And he's just letting you know, on the back end, he's just working hard to try and get him to wake up and get him to learn his lessons. But he said it's all meant to be working like this, it's all working to plan. He's not in any rush, because it's all meant to be working as it has. So not to worry, he's doing good. But yeah.
It's funny because I think I heard this morning after I woke up, that I was like, oh, I should ask if us getting sick was like some sort of break, because that before.
Yeah.
How does that?
It feels like sometimes they have to like do that to like force you to just like rest, and like when you're already like, because sometimes when you're on the go, they can still do things like in our sleep and stuff like that, but sometimes like you really need like a hard reset, and it's like almost like a quicker way of doing it. Like if we just force you to just like really crash right now, we can just get all of this done, and it's almost like a crash course for your body and like resetting your energy. So yeah, it was meant to happen like that, and it's nice. Like I didn't ask for him to come in. He just came in by himself. He was already gonna come in. He was ready to just like give you this, to just let you know, which is really lovely.
Yeah. Okay, I keep trying to, in the back of my mind, I guess I'm like, oh, I hope he wakes up, and I'm always talking to him about spiritual stuff, even though he probably doesn't know what's going to hear.
I do the same.
He's been at this job that he's in for like a year now, and he sort of got into a groove of it, but he's always so tired after work, and I think he secretly wants to work less, or maybe do something else, but I don't think he's, I'm like, oh, you can ask for a friend from the universe to show you something else, and I was trying to tell him about this the other night, but I don't know if he will, but I just feel that he just seems a bit stuck to me as well.
I think sometimes they have to go through that grind, and like you obviously know how it feels, where you feel like you're living the same day again, but like I feel like in his case it feels like you have to be pushed until your own limit. So like how many times can you do this, and to feel tired until you get absolutely sick of it and just feel like, oh my god, will something just change? Like he needs to get to that point. He can't just be like, oh yeah, that's cool, let's just completely change everything when I don't want to. Like he needs to get to that point. And I think when you say things like, you know, just ask for a sign, you know, because you're not pushing it and being like, you need to be not religious, you need to be spiritual, because you're not pushing it, and you're just like casually, well, just, you know, you can ask for a sign, but you're not pushing it. It allows it to go in, and it allows him to actually think about it, even though he's not letting on. He is thinking about it. He is being like, you know, makes sense, but like it doesn't make sense, but I might try it, you know, but like he might not tell you, because he's letting down his walls very slowly, but because your energy is in the right place, it feels like it's actually going through to him. It's not like hitting a brick wall because you're being like, come on, have crystals, do this, do that, do a ritual with me, like, let's do yoga. Like, I think it's because you're just very casual about it, and you're very you're just not pushing it. It's allowing, you're just like confident in the way you're just like, well, it's okay if you don't want it. It's not like you're panicking because you feel like he needs it. It feels like a different energy to where you was at. So now it is going in, and he is thinking about it when he walks away, but it's like almost like you're like, you know, you could just ask for a sign, and then he's like, oh yeah, really? And then he walks away, he's like, should I do it? But he's not letting on. He's not going to tell you that he's going to do that. But
I kind of have a secret hope that it might plant a seed and he might.
yeah, no, definitely.
Like it's a point like you were saying, he was just so good at it. He's like, oh, well, why not? Like, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be like. Yeah. It is good. Have you got anything else that you wanted to go over?
I was just keep thinking about at the start of the session that I was very ready to tell me more about my purpose and what I'm doing, and you know, I was telling about trying to make YouTube videos and that, but is that just gonna like flow now that we've got over all ourselves, that's good.
I think it's going to be really good now, because you're going to have, I think that it's almost like they're showing me now like an energetic wall, and it feels like that's been like removed. So you're going to be having like more inspiration, like is going to be able to come to you, and like you need to just follow now the inspirational like ideas. And if you have an idea and it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. But like it feels like almost like you're just going to be very inspired, and like, oh, this is going to happen, and like you're going to have this idea, and just write them all down. You don't have to do every single one of them. Like I was like that when I first started doing all of this. I thought I had to do everything they said. I thought that I had to, every idea they give me, I thought I had to do, because I was like, oh, if I don't do it, it's not going to work. And then I think I got so lost in trying to do all of them, then I didn't even know what I wanted to do anymore, because I was just trying to do everything. But if you have an idea that feels really good and you get all excited, then write it down, and like write it down in your notes, and then like go off that idea and like, oh, and then I could do this, and then I could do this, and just when you have that creation or like inspiration, write it down, and then keep allowing it to flood through. Just write anything, even if it sounds silly, write it down in your notes, keep writing it down, and then allow more of it will come in then. And then if you're like, I don't know, you're halfway through the next day, you're like, oh, I have another idea that can go with it, and then keep writing it down. But like almost like feel it like it's exciting again, it's like new, and it's fun that they're giving like you all of these ideas, because they do give us so many amazing ideas that are going to help with what we do. So but it feels like they're showing me the wall, and it's like things are trying to get through, these ideas are trying to get through, but then they can't. And then the ones that do get through, you take action, you do it, and then it doesn't work out or doesn't move forward, and then you get disheartened, you feel like crap, and you feel like you've done something wrong. You're then trying to do more healing because you feel like, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I need to do more healing before I'm able to do this. And then that's like just been that cycle. But it feels like there's almost like, now because the wall's been removed, all the ideas are going to be able to come to you, but they're actually going to be able to have momentum and move forward.
That explains why yeah, because like I have some ideas, and then I'd make a video, and I don't know, I just thought I was just making excuses because I was scared to put it out there, but when I do it anyway, that's a good idea. And like, I feel like it's where ideas come from, like I love videos that I've watched or books or podcasts or something. And I'm like, oh, am I just parroting this person's video? Like it's not, I don't know, it's becoming from me.
I know what you mean, because but we get inspiration from everywhere, but sometimes I panic about that because I really enjoy watching other people's stuff and I really enjoy reading books and about spiritual stuff. Like I like my whole life I'm talking about spiritual stuff or plants, like there's nothing else. And I feel like it almost, I feel I got to a point where I was like, well, I'm scared of putting something out there then, because what if it's not my idea and it's actually someone else's, but I've forgotten because I've read so much and I've listened to so much, but I don't want to stop listening to it because I've seen a lot of people say, well, I don't listen to anyone else before and now, and that's part of my practice, but I enjoy it. So I felt like guilty for not being the same as them, but I don't want to be because I enjoy doing it. But then I think when you take away that guilt of just, oh, I'm not sure, and then also I think it added on to it because I remember I'll say something in my video and then someone else will say it and I'm like, oh my god, I hope they know I said it first and I'm not copying them, or I'm like, I would panic about things like that, or even like calls that we've had or with other people, I will say something and they're like, oh, I've heard so and so say that, and I'm like, oh well, I haven't seen that, you know, like just to let you know. But like, why are we all trying to be the one that has only had this information without anyone else having it when we're all channeling it from source energy? So, you know, it's okay. And obviously if someone has this amazing idea and then you're like, well, I want to do that, then maybe like just say like, I was inspired by this idea. That, you know, it's amazing to credit people, but I think as soon as I start to let go of, okay, other people are going to say the same thing as me and it's totally fine, I'm just going to like try and, the way I say it's different to how everyone else says it because it's coming from me. So, and like, when I talk about something, then I'm like, oh, and like I've had this experience, and then I try and explain what I've you know, gone through with that experience to make it more relatable to people. Like you can do the same. How you say things is going to relate to people in different ways how other people will say it. So, and your energy is going to attract different people. You're a different person. So as soon as I started to let that go and feel it's okay if we get the same things, and it's actually quite cool that we're channeling like similar things, the more I started to actually get more information, because I was almost blocking myself because I was panicking about getting the same things rather than thinking that's really cool. But don't worry about it. I think try everything, or try like a few things, whatever it is, as long as you feel excited about it, and even if you're a bit nervous and scared sometimes, as long as you still get that exciting like feeling, then still go for it. Just push past it, because it just, you're stretching the elastic band of your confidence and how far you can push yourself. No, it's okay. Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, because it's what we've done already, I'm like, oh, maybe this stuff is gonna be let in, but I was wondering if you could ask, like, because I've sort of not given up, but just for now, I haven't really been trying to open my gifts or like trying to channel or anything, because nothing's been happening, so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna leave that. So
do you want me to take you through right now on how to do it?
Yeah.
So so I feel like, because only just from purely experiencing the circles that I've done recently, actually every single one of them channeled something and they didn't even realise. There's not been one person, even my friend's daughter's partner came just because he got dragged, because she was like, come on, you have to come and join. And even he got something, and he was like, well, I don't know, I just seen that. And I was like, that's still something. And then he's like, really? And I'm like, well, how did it feel? You know, and then like every single person got something, but they didn't realise that that's what it was. And just because it's like different, like someone would get like a colour, or someone would get like an outline of something, but they didn't have a clue, like it was like a shape, or someone would get like I think someone was getting smells, and they would all piece it together, and they would write all their little notes, and then it would make a message. And they was like, wow, that's so crazy, but they didn't realise that actually that they were gifts. I think like that already everyone has them, nobody is special for having them, you know, we're all pretty cool, but like we all have them. So I think if I take you through it, you're a very visual person anyway, because when you've spoken to me in the past, you've always talked about like what you've felt like feeling. So I'm guessing you're clairvoyant and claircognizance, because claircognizance is like the emotion, like feeling, like gut knowing, like not like the feeling like physical, it's like I just have a feeling. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be that one. And then also because you've talked to me about what you've like seen, like, you know, like I think, was it even you? I'm sure it was you. So like you can like visualize very easy and things like that. Maybe it's not you. I speak to too many people now. Maybe it's not you. But anyways, I'll take you through it, and we will just explain everything that you're seeing as you're seeing it, or feeling it, or even if you feel like it's your ego, doesn't matter. Okay? So let me just turn this down, just because I feel like it's distracting. I'm so wriggly. I have to move all the time. Okay, so at first, this is what I do with everyone. So at first, I want you to just know your boundaries. So you've already watched the series before on the how to open your gifts and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go through. Do you know what boundaries you want to put in place, like your rules with your spirit guides? Like I only want to connect with like the highest vibration, like love and light, and I only want to connect when I'm intentionally connecting. So you don't want to just be like woken up in the night and all of them. Do you know them ones?
Yeah.
Have you got an idea of what kind of rules you want in place?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And my friend mentioned one at the circle as well. I do not accept attachments, which was, I've never thought of that, but I've just added that in there now as well. Just may as well, even though we cut cords and everything afterwards, but it's just a good one to just throw in there. But when we're connecting, I just want you to just let your spirit guides know, like either say it out loud or say it in your head, these are my rules and this is what you have to abide by. Like, I'm the one channeling, these are what I say yes or no to. So I just want you to go over the list of rules that you want to choose for you, and then I will tell you how to then open up, and I'll take you almost through like a guided meditation on how to do it, and then I'll shut up, and then you can tell me if you're feeling anything, or if you're seeing anything, even if it's just black, like whatever. Okay, so start by taking a deep breath in, and we're just going to really anchor in ourselves right now. So take a deep breath in, hold, and slowly release. And then take another deep breath in, hold, and slowly release. And after you've released all that you can, I want you to continue to mimic that breathing pattern, really helping you calm your mind. And I want you to declare all of your rules to your spirit guides. You can say it out loud, in your head, doesn't matter. It's whatever feels good to you.
I only connect when I choose to connect. Connect to family work only. And I only connect with my past needs. And I do not accept attachment.
Okay, so now I want you to imagine your chakras. I imagine them as lotus flowers opening, and this is a way to show that I'm opening up now to channel and I'm ready to receive messages. Some people visualize it as like a flower, a crystal spinning, or whatever it is to you, that's completely fine, but I just want you to see them all in a row, and then each one is going to open until they get to the crown, and as the crown opens, you're then ready to channel.
Yep.
Are they all open?
Yep.
Okay, so now I want you to invite your spirit guides in, and your higher selves and your angels, whoever you want to work with, whoever you feel comfortable. I want you to invite them in, and I want you to just basically ask them, okay, so I'm ready to channel. What message can you give me today to help me start my channeling? And now all I want you to do is just sit in this calm space, and I want you to just concentrate on your breathing, because the more you breathe in, hold for as long as you can, and then slowly release. It really helps anchor you into that fuzziness. And then if any thoughts come in, allow them to come in, and if they want to stay, it might be a message or it might not. And if you keep getting distracted, and if it's your ego saying you can't do this, I just want you to just rub it out. Like, imagine it's a rubber. This is the only way that works for me. I just rub it out, and I'm like, no, it doesn't serve me. And I just imagine, I visualize white light, and then they start showing me things. And if it takes a minute, it takes a minute, it doesn't matter. So just concentrate on your breathing. Okay, I want you to keep your eyes closed as I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I can see your third eye is already open, it's already ready, fully open. I can see your crown is really, really clear. So that's really good. I could see the only chakra that needed working on was your throat chakra. So I've just been doing some healing on your throat chakra.
It's funny because I felt like it's happened to
Yeah, it's still being worked on, but that's the only one that needed healing today. That's like sticking out. So now I just want you to stay in that mindset where you're just really relaxed, and I want you to ask your spirit guides, what can you show me? And then tell me, how do you feel? Are you seeing any lights?
not getting anyone yet.
Okay, that's okay. So I can see there's angels around you. I asked the angel that was next to you to come and assist and help you, and they placed their hand over your third eye. And then as they did that, they were showing me the vision. So they were showing me you had some like tarot and like oracle cards, and they were calling you the oracle. So your gifts are super strong. Like, you have really strong gifts, and they're going to be very strong. You're going to be very good at reading cards and channeling. We just need to work on you feeling comfortable with opening them. Like, not, they're open. They just need to feel comfortable to receive them. So do you feel like nervous about receiving any messages?
I was excited, and now I'm trying not to. I'm not to get disappointed that I'm not seeing.
Oh, it's still working. It's definitely still working. You don't need to be disappointed. This is, everyone says this at first. Everyone says, well, I can't do it. Well, you can. So now I want you to try something where I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to visualize your energy merging with mine. So just however you want to I just visualize like two energies like mushing in together. You might want to visualize like a chord, whatever it is, and I want you to set the intention. I'm setting the intention to connect with Abby's energy, and I want to see her energy. And you can either see my energetic body, you can see my guides, you can ask whatever feels comfortable to you, and just set the intention to connect with my energy, and then to open your third eye and see my energy. And they'll show you whatever you need to see. You can read whatever you want from me, but like there's nothing to hide. But yeah. So then sometimes it's easier to connect to other people rather than yourself. I find it still sometimes hard to connect to myself because I'm like, is that my thought, or is it for that? Or so yeah. Try and connect to my energy by doing that. Just setting the intention and seeing it merge.
I'm not doing anything.
No? Okay. Close your eyes and then make it up. Just make it up. Just make it up. Just read my energy by making it up. Whatever comes to your imagination, just be like, yeah, this. And like, you don't have to worry then because you're trying to make it up. So just think of a story, whatever it is, just make it up. It's just, see, it's just your ego, that's all it is. There's no blocks, it's literally just your ego. So just tell your ego it's fine. It doesn't even matter if I get it wrong now because I'm making it up. So it's not about getting it right. Just talk to that side of yourself like it's fine, I don't mind. I'm literally just making it up. You saw a daisy? That's really good. That's my favourite flower. That's my absolute favourite flower. It is. I tried to grow them in the garden, but I put them out too late, so they didn't work. See? You picked up on something. That was right. Okay, so calm your mind and just try and do it again. So just make it up again. You saw a dolphin. That's cool. Oh, what? Sorry. That's cool. I'm from, my starseed planet is from Sirius, so a lot of dolphins come from there. Do you know, the only thing that is stopping you from getting a flood of information is just your ego. It's just your ego saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, and you can. Because when you was able to be like, it doesn't matter if I get it wrong, then you got two things right. You just need to just practice on it. But yeah, it's really, I told you you'd be able to do it. That's what it feels like though. It feels like you're just making it up, and it's like that. No, it's I'm just making it up. It's weird, but it's not. You should get some cards. As soon as yeah, as soon as they touched your third eye, they showed me you with the cards, the tarot cards, and then there was like some oracle cards here, but the tarot cards you was using as you showed me, and they called you the oracle. So you're very gifted. It's just your ego, that's all. But we all have that. Literally, sometimes I get so excited about what I'm channeling. I'm like, I ruin it for myself because I actually pull myself out of it because I'm too excited. It feels like, oh, this is new information. This is really cool. This, oh my god. And they have to almost ground myself, and I'm like, calm down. Like, chill out. And I have to then take a step back and like breathe. Okay, concentrate and get into your business mindset, like neutral mindset. Rather than like Abby, like that's all giddy, like holy crap, I can't believe I just channeled that. Like calm down. And then when I do that and I just bring my energy down, I can get back into it. Or sometimes I can't get back into it because I'm just like, oh my god. So that's why sometimes I'm like, right, okay, I have to wait now until a different day until I've calmed myself down and then do it again. The other day, when I got my new plants, I actually couldn't channel that day because I was so excited about having new plants. This is how stupid it was. I was so excited. I nearly fainted. I actually felt like I was dizzy. This is how ridiculously obsessed I am with plants. I nearly cried when they came in the post. And I had to ground my energy because I was so floaty. I had to just sit for a minute and ground my energy. And I was like, guys, you're just gonna have to leave me alone for a minute. Because my little brothers were here. I was like, calm down, just leave me alone for a minute. I need to ground my energy. My brother was taking the mick out of me. I was like, I'm not joking. I feel like I could faint. Like, because I'm that excited. And he was asking me later on to channel for him. And I couldn't. Because all I could think about was the plants. I was like, Ethan, I just don't care. I don't care. All I care about is my plants right now. So sometimes we have to find that thing that brings us into neutral to just be like, right, okay, ground your energy, just calm down. Yes, it's fun and exciting, or even bring it up like, yes, this is scary, I'm scared of getting it wrong or whatever, but it's fine. Just like finding the neutral bit is so helpful. But yeah, plants. Yeah, like literally. And that, do you know what, I think that actually happened to me when I first channeled. Well, not the first time, because I didn't know I was channeling and I was confused. And then when afterwards I was like, wow, what's that channel? But then when I knew I was channeling, I brought myself straight out of that and I couldn't see anything then, because I was like, well, I seen a speck of light and that was it. Like, but I was so excited, I couldn't see anything else. So it's fine. It just takes practice, and then the more you practice, the more you can trust that what feels right and what doesn't. Because there's some things that I've channeled that I know wasn't right, and I'm like, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I normally would see things or feel things, and I've been able to, you know, say, well, but I know that you're projecting something that's not, like, that's fake. So yeah, you kind of get to know your own style, because some people see it different, so, or feel it different, or hear it different, or there's so many ways. My partner actually hears songs in his head. Yeah, they like play songs to him, and then he's like, I don't know what that song is, and then he'll write it down, like the lyrics that he's hearing, and he'll look it up and the song will come up. He's never heard these songs before, so it's really cool. But there's so many different ways. I just said there's so many different ways.
It's good to know that I don't have any blocks that you saw and so it's just
well, you can always FaceTime me and be like, sit still, I want to channel you, that's fine. It's totally fine. My partner actually works away, so a lot of the time he's not even there and I'm just on my own, and he just says, well, you can just practice on my energy. So then I'm just like calm in my mind. He's busy doing all sorts, and then I still tap into his energy, and then I'm like, oh, I saw this, and he's like, oh, that's scary, don't do it again, because I saw what he was doing and he was so frightened. It was so funny. But yeah, so you can still tap into people's energy even if they're not there. But it's just the exact same thing. Like, just because I'm on the phone to you, I could do this call without you even being here, but it's just easier to get your reaction to things, because then you can explain what you've been going through, and then I can get more information. I connect more through when people are speaking. Like, some people send pictures, I don't really connect like that. Some people hold objects, I don't connect to that. But when I hear someone's like voice, it almost like triggers something. It's so bizarre. I can do it when they're not there, but it's like, I can't always then get more information. It's like, what I see is what I see, and then I can't get more. But then when I hear the person talking that I'm connecting to, it's then they give me like more information. Like, it's like when you said something before and I'm like, whoa, okay, and like it just, that's how I do it. I don't know how I figured that out. I guess it's just down the line. But
yeah, and there's that each time they'll say something and then you'll be like, oh, when you were saying this just now, I got this information too.
yeah, because for some reason that's just how it happens. But then, like, maybe if someone's talking to you and then you'll be like, oh, I thought of that, and then you'll just remember something, but it's not really a memory, It's because that's what it feels like. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I remember that, but it's I've never experienced it. Sometimes it kind of feels like a memory, and so but I feel quite lucky because I can hear things, I can see things, I can feel things, and like I feel like mine is easier to interpret. Some people can only, and the way I see things too, I see things in like a movie. They'll show me the whole movie of it, like the whole scene, whereas some people has to physically like just piece puzzles together, and it's a lot harder where they can just see an object and that's what that means for them. The only thing I have for that is just the script for the contract, and that's the only thing. So everything else, they just show me like this little movie thing, and that's how I see it. So I feel quite lucky, but it's just how you develop it. And it's like, okay, so this is what I will understand. They'll show you for you what you will understand, or like, you know, it might be in books when you're like reading, or maybe writing would be very good for you. But that's another thing, like if you're channeling, so next time you sit to like meditate and do it, have like, close your eyes but have a pen and paper with you, and then when you get something, write it down. Because sometimes it's harder for me to do this, it's because I just don't connect in this way. But sometimes when I'm channeling and I'm trying to write all these notes down, then sometimes I get more. So when you're writing it, that might be how you're connecting easier. So you should try that one because you love writing.
I was trying to do that with the automatic writing. I tried it a few times, but it didn't feel like it was really...
Automatic writing is a little bit different. Like when you're sitting there intentionally channeling and you're waiting for it to come through in whatever way, and then you write it down. Automatic writing is when you're like almost letting them guide your hand. So I would try the one where you're channeling and then you're writing things down. And like, even if you're writing, okay, I'm intending to connect, just to get the feeling going, and then just sit there and calm your mind, and then just like whatever, even if it's like I see white or just white, because when I'm doing like I'm trying to write, I just like do like the most messiest notes ever because I'm trying to write, and then sometimes when I'm writing something else comes through and I'm like, I can't keep up, like, because sometimes they show you things back after back, and then sometimes it's like 5 minutes till you see another thing. So it's like it's a bit easier at first when you write it down, because then it'll remind you, because always know that when you're channeling, you will always forget what you channeled. Like, this is why it seems so mean that people are like, remember that, and I'm like, I don't remember, because I just don't remember what I channeled, and most people that I've spoke to don't remember either, so that must just be a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you got any other questions?
It's good, but I think we probably all related to what we were in the beginning. Just situations like financially and stuff, and haven't been able I wrote down building connections, so it's just nothing's moving forward, so hopefully now.
Yeah, I really do think it, and the only reason I said about the financial thing when I was doing that thing, I said love just be, not in like a relationship, just love in general, because I feel like that's everything. The only reason I said that, like, for financial things to come to me, because they were showing me money. They were showing me money like flooding down to like me. I felt really good. Like they were showing me it like falling down on me. So that's why I said it, to make like your subconscious and like your conscious be aware of that too, because it feels like that block is all it almost like the wall was almost like getting that out too, because you were stuck in that energy of what you was going through. So it was almost like that wasn't able to like that wasn't a part of that cycle, so that's why he wasn't able to get it. So when they was when I was going through like trying to, you know, feel what they were feeling, and like I seen like a car, like not a car, like, you know, like one of them like retro vans, I don't know what they're called, but like they're really famous. Then like it has a W or a V or whatever it is. Yeah, that one. It's like a camper van. It's like a cool one, that or RV or whatever. I don't even know what it is. But anyways, they were showing me like that on the road, and like just like trying like adventure, and it just felt like freedom. So then I was like, that's why I said like freedom, and like it felt like really young energy. Do you know like how you would imagine like when people say like, oh, I've like just like I have nothing holding me back, I have no responsibilities, so I'm just gonna go on a travel year. Like that's what it felt. It felt like just freedom, just money to do what you like. It didn't feel like you have anything holding you back. So that's why I was trying to think of words that matched it, and I was like, oh my god, this sounds so weird, but I'm just gonna go with it. But yeah, so they were showing me rather than telling me what to say, so I was trying to match what I was seeing to the words. Anyways, but yeah, so they were showing me money coming down, so I felt very abundant. I felt like it was just like a magnet. It was all just coming to me, and like with ease. It didn't feel like things were going to be hard anymore. And I know, anyways, I already know it's already shifted. And it shifted on this call as like before this call, because I upped my prices and you literally didn't even notice. You were like, yeah, no, I'm here for it. Like, come on, like, amazing. And you're then putting it out to the universe. Look, like, I'm ready to spend on myself because I know I'm getting loads back. Like, I know the universe is giving me loads back. Come on, because I'm here. Like, so you're physically shifting your energy. Well, not physically, but you're energetically shifting your energy just by like that transfer. So it's already happening.
Like, pretty much everything that's not like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can't think. Like, I have to experience a little bit. After that, I put everything else in my credit card, and I haven't really had a way to pay it back. But I'm like, was telling me like, okay, well, I've never regretted having social media always been happy, and even though it's like, you know, I'm not saying it for that, but because I don't have a way to pay it back, everything seems like I'm not.
Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from as well, because it feels like scary to take that jump in case it doesn't come back.
Yeah.
But now you know you're going to be reigning in it. It's good. You should be proud of yourself. Because then you're matching like my growth, you're matching my growth. You're like, I don't know why you're waiting for me. I'm already here. Like, come on, Abby. Like, over here. Like, you're literally, I always say this, I don't think you realise how far you've like come and how much you've grown so much. Like, your energy has changed so drastically. Like, from what they show me, like when we was working on that first to what it is now, it's a completely different person. You've done so amazing, and I understand obviously you've not seen as much change as you wanted to see, but yeah, we always figure out these things on the calls. We're like, really, come on guys, like, come on. So yeah, no, it feels good though. It feels almost like, it's actually funny looking at it now. I've been trying to move out of this house for years and years and years, and now I'm moving and it all happened very quickly. It feels like, oh my god, why is everything happening so quickly? But it's like, it feels like almost like I've just been through something similar. It wasn't actually the same, but it feels like almost like I've been trying to do something for a long time, and now everything is happening at the same time. And I've asked it for the longest time, but then once it's come, I've had the worst anxiety, and I'm like, oh my god, it's all happening. I'm so used to it not happening. But yeah, so I know how you feel. It's like, it's almost like you're expecting it to not work anymore, but you just need to remember now to shift that, like, no, it's okay, and not even to worry if you're constantly panicking, like, oh, what if it doesn't work? It's fine if you worry about it, because the more you worry about worrying about it, the more you're going to worry about it. So if you're worrying, just tell yourself, it's fine, I'm just worrying, but I'm going to be fine later, and then I'll stop worrying and I'll enjoy my day. Not because I want things to happen, but just because I'm going to enjoy it, and it's nice to have a peaceful mind, because everything is going to happen anyway. It's got too much momentum to not do it. So the wall's been removed. That old pattern doesn't exist anymore. You have nothing holding you back. It does feel really, it feels very fresh and new and freeing.
I do wonder why, I've had what, like 5 or 6 sessions now, and I don't know, and I just, like, so someone's the most important thing, and I guess that's the, but I guess there's a reason, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'm glad you feel better. I'm glad you feel confident in moving forward. It's good. I don't want anyone to, like, finish a call and then be like, you know, I hope this does work, because if not, I'm screwed. Like, I want you to know, you know, you're so powerful. You've got so much, like, positive energy. Like, if you think about it, like, I just seen Abraham Hicks pop up on my phone, like, they've just posted a video or whatever, and it just reminded me, like, she says we have so much in our vortex, so much things that we've put there, like positive things that we've put there to, like, that would keep us busy for lifetimes. And it's so true, and, like, we've got so much positivity, like, to look forward to, and, like, this amazing life, but our mind just can't comprehend, like, what it could ever look like or what it could ever be. So it's almost like that's why we doubt it, and we're like, yeah, but how? Like, but, like, how is my life going to be positive? Like, what, unless we can visualize and understand it, it's almost like we don't believe it. But it's totally not like that. Like, there's just so much that can happen, and so many amazing things that can happen. Let's just leave it up to them to deal with, and for us to just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey guys, so that's the end of the video. Super excited about that session. I absolutely loved it, and now just going back through the editing, it makes me really remember things that I forgot before and how interesting that session was. I actually had a message off the lady in the session afterwards, and it was really interesting because obviously in the session she was stuck in a loop, and that was caused from a car accident in a parallel life of hers. And actually the same day that this session ended, she went out to go celebrate herself, and she actually had a very near hit and miss she was nearly in another car accident, and it just shows the end of that cycle, and I'm super excited for her to begin her new chapter. So if you guys want a one-on-one session, then the link is in the description box below. It's in my Etsy store, and it's under Cosmic Healing sessions. So I'm super excited. I hope you enjoyed the video. There's going to be lots more of these coming, and make sure you subscribe for more.